Given that black pigments absorb more light than, say, white pigments, where as sunlight is reflected, are black birds more likely to absorb light and become warmer? Potentially, yes, although other factors such as feather structure and feather density are also important, as I'll mention presently. And there is evidence that birds which tend to migrate less, either they have shorter migration routes or they don't migrate, they tend to be darker. And it is thought that if they had dark feathers and tried to migrate great distances, then all of the heat generated by the flight muscles, in addition to the sunlight being absorbed, then this would cause them to overheat. Here you will note that two black birds are extending their wings and basking in the sun, and presumably the dark pigmentation is helping them warm faster. Many birds have black wingtip feathers. This absorbs more sunlight and thus becomes warmer. And thus the fact that the wing tips are warming faster, this modifies the airflow over the wing and allows for a more efficient flight. This principle would also be true in other animals. So for example, a dark dog would have a higher risk of overheating in direct sunlight than a lighter dog. Also, dark snakes would benefit from this dark pigmentation to absorb more energy from the sunlight while they are basking. The situation can be a little more complex. For example, why is this raven, which lives in a hot desert, why is it colored black? Shouldn't it be white? Won't it get overheated if it is black? Well, in crows and ravens, the tips of the feathers are black, which causes the tips to get hot. Actually, the feathers are a little lighter closer to the base. The fact that the tips away from the surface of the skin is getting hot. This allows for the wind to more easily remove the air which is hotter because now it is farther from the skin, closer to the surface, as opposed to contained within the layers of the feathers. And now heat from the body can more easily dissipate. So once again, not just the color of the feathers, but also their density, their structure, and their arrangement can have an effect on whether heat is absorbed or removed from the body.